Hi everyone, so we are here at the ET Inspiring Leaders North 2024 and I have Mr. Amit Saxena with me, who is the CEO of Sparsh Group. Well sir, very warm welcome
Thank
here.
you so much for having me.
I hope your journey was smooth. Well, my question to you is that what are the challenges that K-12 and higher education is facing?
Well, I mean, it's a very interesting time as far as the education is concerned. We had COVID, which brought technology a little closer to the educational institutions. And then government of India, after almost more than 30 years, they have launched a new education policy. It's called NEP 2020, which is still in the process of rolling it out. And a lot of focus is now from a rote learning to experiential learning. So wherein a student who used to go through with the syllabus and everything, and the very, very direct questions used to come. Now it's a very, very conceptualized questions. For that, you need to prepare your teachers accordingly. And I think the mindset of the teachers who have been teaching in one particular format, they have to really come out of the comfort zone and learn something new before they start teaching to those students. So yes, metro cities are blessed to have good teachers, but then if you talk about the India as a whole, there are a lot of challenges out there. So, so this is one big thing which I see, be it higher education or the K-12 education, training and development of teachers is extremely important. Second, a lot of international boards are now coming to India. You have IB, you have Cambridge, you have Finnish, and they have very different pedagogy. Which is, I think, again, there's a great dearth of talent from where you hire them. And if you try to get international faculty, India is a very, very price-sensitive market. It doesn't really work. So you're compromising somewhere in terms of the delivery mechanism, in terms of the teachers who are not really being so very well trained to understand the nuances of the new pedagogy which has been introduced. And therefore, I see a lot of challenges coming forward wherein teachers and the educators have to really change their orbit and learn something new.
Yes, always. So what do you think about the technology? How has it changed the dynamics in education?
So technology is I think, again, if you look at post-COVID, pre-COVID rather, I would say. Pre-COVID, teachers were not really very comfortable with technology again. They're very comfortable with their own PPTs, their own handouts, notes. The concept of a smart school, smart boards were there. But I have seen in my schools, they were reluctant to use that because they felt that, this is something that they have to, again, work something on a new thing. So, but I think COVID has brought technology at a center point, because whether you like it or not, all the classes are online and teachers were forced to use technology. But that's one part of it. I think technology is coming in a big way because right now the artificial intelligence, we call it AI, is now taking over. ChatGPT is there. This generation is completely aligned with the technology, unlike the teachers. For them, it's an effort to learn something new. But the student in the classroom is so very fast, they probably would teach teachers that how to use technology. That's where I think is the... So at Sparsh, we are launching a robo teacher, which is one teacher in the classroom can teach you any subject from nursery to grade 12. Just not the subject, but the competitive exam as well. Imagine a world wherein a teacher is a robot. And I remember we have seen Terminator way back, wherein how the robots can be so handy. That's now the reality. There's no more a fiction. So, so we are launching a robot teacher just as an assistant to the main teacher. And wherein, the time has come wherein the technology probably would say that whether the teacher is prepared with the lesson plan or not, whether the student has learned something today, the learning outcome can be that quick. So you don't have to wait for your PTMs for the 3 months that you know what has been the learning outcome. Today, I think parents can see on the dashboard in the evening that 6 hours my kid has spent in the school, whether he has learned something new today or not. So technology is here to stay. We have to embrace it. And instead of showing a knee-jerk reaction that this is not possible or we will not allow you to chat GPT, I think the time has come where we must ask the student to use more friendly and create those kind of filters which probably can help them to understand, but do something more beyond using just the platform. So AI, I think, is a in a big way is coming. You don't have to, now the personalized learning, gamified learning, your assessments, your question papers, everything is now through AI. But I think my fear is just not about what is happening now. My fear is, if you go back, there's a book has been written by Ray Kurzweil way back in 2005, when he says that singularity is near. It means how the artificial intelligence and human intelligence can be clubbed together. Imagine a world when your intelligence is being equated with the third party, which is technology. So I don't think that there is a time when everybody would be a backbencher, because everybody would be empowered with the AI.
Yeah.
So very interesting time, and the time is not very far. 2005, he says by 2029, AI will be equated with the human intelligence. Elon Musk has said 2029 is far away. It may happen early. These are the warning signals, and I think as educationists or educational institutions must work differently, must think very differently, and try to integrate the new age technology into their curriculum, into their pedagogy, so that students, when they are passing out, they are not alien to the world, and that's how you can compete the best.
So we know that Sparsh Group has launched their 2 greenfield projects. What has been the vision behind it?
So, we started our journey as a brownfield. We thought that there's a model, we call it entrepreneurship through acquisition. It's called ETA. So initially we thought that, there's a lot of scope is there to turn around certain institutions who were not doing well. So we have done the first part wherein the brownfield projects were there. But yes, post first wave of COVID, we launched 2 greenfield projects. One is as a school and one is a higher education. We felt that it's a very competitive market, of course, yes, but then how you can create a differentiation. My personal experience says K-12 education, and then the higher education, and eventually corporate sector, because after the education you join any corporate or any industry. All 3 of them work in silos. K-12, you get 15 years time to groom a child, but you don't teach anything what is required as a higher education is concerned. In higher education, you teach them to 2 years or 4 years, but you don't teach what industry needs it. And therefore, you see the challenges when Narayan Murthy, with great due respect, he says 95% of the engineers are trash, means what you taught them in 4 years is not really any relevance as far as the industry is concerned. So Sparsh being a corporate house, when we are into it, we see that, how we can have a very seamless journey from K-12 to higher education to the corporate world. We call it KG to corporate, is the positioning what Sparsh wanted to create. We have almost 8,000 students now, and we are taking a lot of forward-looking steps, integrated them into our pedagogy. A lot of focus is on teachers training, a lot of focus on technology. And as I said that, we are launching Iris as a robot teacher, as a first experiment, that how a robot can be a teacher. And that's how I think the positioning of Sparsh would be. Focus is a lot on entrepreneurship, because I think time has come where the job may not be as frequently as available. Industry is very dynamic. The technology, as I said, is here to stay. So therefore, it's very important that, when a student who passes out, say for example, someone takes admission today at the age of 3. When he will pass out after 15 years, 2040, the world would not be the same. So how you're preparing a student to see, which you don't know yourself, how the world would be. So if I ask you, close your eyes and think about 15 years back, how the world would be, you would not probably imagine. And I say, close your eyes and think about 15 years down the line. You can't imagine how the world would be. So the education which you are imparting in the classroom has to have a lot of future orientation, and therefore we are teaching entrepreneurship from grade 1. We have embedded Stephen Covey 8 habits into school education. We are doing a lot of business simulation. We have just organized a boot camp.
Wow.
Wherein the student of grade 5 has participated and said, this is something which they wanted to enjoy more. So this is when you're teaching entrepreneurship, you're doing the boot camp, so entire thing is experiential learning.
Yeah.
The positioning of Sparsh, as I said, KG to corporate, but yes, 3 things are important. How global you are, how experiential you are, and how much transformational journey which you are giving to the students. Yeah. I may not be one of the bestest of the student or the brightest of the student, but the way you are teaching me, the way you are grooming me, and if you can transform my personality, I think that's where education institution plays a very important and critical role. And the bottom line is always how great the teachers are. So we call them magicians in the classroom. Something which is available, something which a student already have seen on a YouTube or any other channel for that matter, is the teacher should be beyond.
Yeah.
The teacher should come with a lot of personalized attention and a lot of case studies which are not being used by anybody. So in higher education also, there's a very similar philosophy, and in K-12 also, a very, very similar philosophy.
Wow, thank you so much, sir, for being with us here, and good to know all this coming from you. I hope you have a good day.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me here. Wonderful interacting with you.
Our pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.